Welcome to the back office. I'm Dalayna Dillon, the founder and creative director of Signify Marketing, and this is where you get to sit in on real strategy. Each episode, we step inside active businesses and have honest conversations about marketing, growth, leadership, and the decisions shaping what happens next. No one has it fully figured out, but we are building anyway. So today, I'm sitting down with Traci Baker, going to be your new best friend. She's so fun. She's the founder of Traci Baker Photography and a personal branding and senior photographer who has built a thriving business in one of the most competitive, creative industries. We're talking about what it takes to stay relevant, adapt to change, and continue growing in a field where trends, technology, and expectations are constantly evolving. I think you could agree with all of those things.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Traci, before we get into the business side of photography, let's start with your story. How did you first pick up a camera, and when did you realize that it could actually become a business?
Well, thank you for that introduction. I appreciate it. So I started in 2008, I think, was one of my friends on Facebook. Facebook is still good. Did a post about giving away her camera.
Okay.
And my mom wanted it until my mom realized, and this is when they first came out with the digital, where you had to look at the
like the back screen.
Well, you had to look in the eye of this
Yes.
one instead of the back screen,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't want to have to do that. So I just started playing with it, and my oldest child was a senior, so I just took out and went playing with it. So I played with it for like 2 years. Do you remember the app Picnic?
Picnic.
You probably don't. You probably weren't even born.
Oh my word, I definitely was. I graduated high school in 2008.
Okay, so you're the same age as my oldest.
Yes.
Okay, so it was Picnic, Picnik, something like that. So it was like the first Instagram filters before Instagram was here. And I was the bomb. I was editing on it. And I bet I had just taken on new people just for the fun of it. One thing I will definitely recommend, always charge. Don't do it free. Just still do something for your time.
Yeah.
And I think I was a year and a half in. I was terrified of Photoshop because I thought if you touched something, you were going to totally ruin it. And on a trip to Texas with my husband, I get an email that Picnic is no longer.
Ooh.
I had sessions booked.
And that's what you were editing all these photos in.
On this, because that was when you first, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I never would have done film because I'm too budget minded.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd wasted too much time trying to learn that. So I came home from that trip, locked myself in my office for, it was 3 days. I came out to eat and do the other things, but I didn't even get dressed. I stayed in my nightgown, taught myself how to do Photoshop.
Yay.
In that weekend, and continued on. I didn't
Yeah.
have to cancel any sessions. So that was in like 2000. I bet that was about 2011 when that happened.
Yeah. So what were you doing before you really got in? And also, what was the transition where you're like, whatever you're doing before, I'm going to fully transition into photography?
I started out as a elementary teacher at Bixby.
Oh, yes.
And I lasted 10 years in that. Thought I had my dream job. I got to be one of the first art teachers that Bixby had.
That is so fun
And
fitting.
I thought it was my dream job until you're stuck with every 3 days, 550 students rotating through a regular classroom, not even an art classroom. I had to monitor the boys and girls bathrooms. We had to clean sinks. I didn't even have a sink or anything in there. My first year and only year as an art teacher was spent with wanted signs posted all around for art supplies.
Oh.
Had no budget. It was all just begging.
Yeah.
And the 550 students was just too crazy for me. Mm-hmm. And so I went crying. And I said, I don't know what I have to do, but I have got to get out of this. This is not what I'm meant to do. And I had made it 10 years as a teacher. That was my 10th year. I thought it was only my 9th, but it was my 10th, which in the teaching world, that means I was vested.
Yes.
And that was my last time to teach. So my mom has 3 companies. And I went to her and I was like, okay, I've done the bare bones. I just need to make $900 a month to get us by. At this time, we have 3 kids, live on a farm. And she's like, okay, I can do that. So I started working for her. I'm still working for her. It's been 20-something years. That was 2001 when I left.
Oh, wow.
Teaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was some time in between teaching.
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah. And it was just because that's when digital cameras started coming out.
Yeah.
And then I just got to play. I'm an art person, creative person, soul, naturally. Self-taught on almost everything. Love techie stuff. When I was a teacher, I was the one that they came to fix the laminator, to fix, you all probably don't remember this either, the little Xerox machine, the purple duplicator that all the kids wanted to smell the papers. See, nobody knows.
No, I honestly,
Y'all, see,
I will
I'm
say
old.
I didn't know that.
I'm ancient.
I don't know that one. I'll give you that.
Mimeograph, is that what it was called? I don't know. It was a carbon copy, and you had to put it in there and roll it, and it had ink on it. And first thing the kids did when you gave them the paper was to smell it. That's what's wrong with everybody now, because they all smelled that. They grew up with it.
That is so funny. So what did that early season look like? So you were kind of picking up maybe friends, and how did it just kind of evolve and transition into a full-blown business?
In 2010, my second daughter was graduating, and we went and just had some fun with hers. Now, at hers was still on the picnic.
Okay.
I was still using the picnic because the pictures just popped up again. And I was like, oh, you cringe when you see your old work.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I posted it, and everybody started asking me, oh my gosh, who's the photographer? And I was like, I don't know. I was too afraid to admit it, to do it. And that was when people started messaging me when I did said, okay, we were just out playing. That's me doing this. And so I had several others. I was charging like $25, I think, at the time for a session so I could learn and play. Yeah. And I was like, hey, you know what? I think this could turn into something.
Yeah.
And in 2014 was when I took on my first official senior class. Mm-hmm. And I called it, that one I don't know if I did at the time. I think 15 might have been my first, no, 14. I don't know. I don't remember timelines. The Elite 12, because undiagnosed ADHD, self-diagnosed, whatever. I am self-diagnosed. I cannot do the same thing over and over. So like I had set up a little studio in my home. I got so bored with that. That's what I love about this space is it's always revolving. There's something else happening.
Yeah. So we're in Wampa right now.
Yes.
So you work out of here. You photograph. That's the word. Photograph out of here all the time. But this place is so unique. So if you're in Tulsa.
Yeah. West Tulsa.
Yeah. West Tulsa.
It's over here on Charles Page Boulevard.
You need to check it out because the people, I mean, it's a vibe.
There's
it's a whole
offices, co-working spaces. People live here.
There's
lofts upstairs. Very creative friendly.
So it's very Traci friendly because, like you said, like this space is this, and you can go over here and just.
Yeah, I was in one in Broken Arrow that was very small, very well thought out, but it was also not meant for a creative.
Yeah.
And about the time I knew I was growing out of that one, she was closing down because she decided she was going to homeschool her kids. The owner of it, at 28, she decided she did this in downtown Broken Arrow, which blew my mind.
And this place is huge.
Yes, I think it's 90,000 square feet between all the stuff out there too.
You can get lost.
And you can rent spots in here too. So it's a venue. They hold weddings and that kind of stuff out here.
So that's a little plug. Little plug for Wampa.
Oh yeah, they do weddings.
Do weddings too. So you did focus in, at some point you focused in on seniors as kind of your target. She can do whatever. But like I love
I did all. I tried all of it.
Yeah.
And in that you learn what you don't like.
So you just liked seniors. Is that what pulled you in that direction?
Eventually I got there.
Yeah.
After I tried newborns, which was not a no, but a heck no. Because I had a grandbaby. So naturally you go where what's in your life, especially in photography. If you've got kids, you start photographing kids. I went, the moment that flipped the switch for me was I was so busy on focusing on the creativity side that I wasn't paying any attention to the business. Christmas rolled around and I hadn't done anything. Literally, I had a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, with the one ornament.
Mm-hmm.
And that rolls around every year. And that was my reminder that I let stuff just get out of hand, that I was letting my family go.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the whole idea of this, is that you could still have your family
Right.
time and all of that. So I said that wasn't going to do it again. And then after that, I took a workshop in Dallas and decided I wanted to work more on the business side of it,
Yeah.
because my accountant was like, you're paying people to take their pictures,
Mm-hmm.
when it all
Yeah.
boiled down to it. And I was like, okay, so I got to figure this out. I had like $900 in my business account, right? The workshop was $800. I drove myself down to Dallas, stayed in a hotel in downtown Dallas by myself, scared to death, did this workshop, came back, and in the first, it wasn't even a month, I made $5,000 back.
Oh my word.
Yeah, because
my
it
word.
changed my life with
Wow.
how easy it was to get the clients that you want, to walk them through steps, instead of, I'm not shoot and burn.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know what they call that now. I'm sure it's got a different name, where you take your picture and then you just get all the digitals.
Right.
And I learned that a lot of my clients, once I rolled into the seniors, I started this is why I'm ADHD, because this is what I'm talking about, was I cannot take on 50 seniors because I would get bored with it.
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm a baker, I was going to do baker's dozen seniors, and I thought that one extra is way too much for me. So I'm going to do seniors all year long,
Mm-hmm.
the same 12 seniors, and I called it the Elite 12. And I did 6 mini sessions, which could include cap and gown, prom session. And at the time, it was the town I was located in. Mm-hmm. So it was easy to set up those things. Like prom, I just find a place. I always try to do someplace inside, out of the weather, because this is what happens in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And that lasted about 3 or 4 years, and then I just got out of it. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go. I priced everything out, changed it, made it where now I still really only do about 12 seniors. I mark them off, restrictive scheduling, so I don't. Somebody couldn't call me today and go, hey, can you shoot this weekend at a pageant
like I just
or something?
did before we started recording. It's a backup. It's backup plan.
But when you're first starting out, you take on every one of those. Yeah. I do not like doing large family sessions. It just stresses me out. So even with my branding sessions, I'm like, team of 3 is my max. I don't want to go any higher than that. But when you're first starting out, you'll try everything.
You will. I mean, and you need to know what you like and to know what you're good at.
And it's what builds as you go. It's not like all of a sudden I knew how to do seniors.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. You just as you're talking, like all these tabs started opening in my head. I'm like, we need to talk about that. So what you were talking about is like, I wanted to work more on the business. And I think some people hear that and they're like, but photography is your business. But like a photographer, you are the sole person in most situations. Like sometimes you have a team, but like you are the sole provider. But you also have to run the business, and running the business doesn't look like going out and taking photos necessarily. There's a whole behind the scenes stuff.
That's like 20% maybe of your business.
I think people need to hear that.
Yes.
Because if you're just doing the photo taking, you're not running the business.
Yeah, and you're not pricing it according to that.
Listen, that's probably, and I think anyone in the beginning is gonna make the pricing mistake. I know I did.
Yeah.
In marketing, I was not pricing myself correctly, but it's fine because then whenever I realized it, I could make that change. But like you said, you talked with your accountant and they're like, you're going to have to make some changes.
I was literally paying people to take their pictures, and I thought I was making money.
Well,
because I got a check.
Yeah. And I think that too, for something like what both of us do, like you you do marketing as well. You do social media marketing as well as photography, mostly photography. But same thing with me. People don't understand the price behind doing the work.
Yeah.
They don't know
Yeah,
it.
you have to educate.
And so price, I'm sure you've had so many questions on pricing. But I always tell people.
My reputation in town was, at one point, a kid standing beside me at the football field for senior sunrise pops off to one of my seniors, and it's like, go get your $10,000 pictures. That's what they really thought that I was charging.
That's what they thought.
At the time, I was like, oh, yeah.
I wish.
Yeah. I'd only be doing like 2 maybe.
Yeah, well, and I always tell people, don't apologize for your pricing, because the customer doesn't, and they're not supposed to know. They're the customer. They don't have to know all the behind the scenes of like, actually, I might be charging you, let's just say 10,000. You're not, but I might be charging you 10,000, but I don't take home 10,000.
Yeah.
So talk about the pricing, and was that something you had to kind of struggle through of like not apologizing for your price tag?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes, definitely. Good question. Mine, after talking to the accountant, I just sent out to people, hey, this is what my accountant said.
Mm-hmm.
My prices are going up. I love you, and I understand if you need to go somewhere else. I really only lost like 2 people.
Yeah, because they saw your work, loved your
the
work.
value.
Yeah.
You have to put the value in it. And I started, once the shoot and burn really started taking off, and you hear it in every group. I know in your business, any of them, it's about there's one on every corner, and the market's so saturated. Well, I started going from the perspective, I just found what my strength was, and I was an empty nester, and I didn't have the kid at home that I had to keep messing with, and so I used that, and I used that as far as I could get it, of I have time for this.
Yeah.
I started educating on, once the shoot's over, here's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I mark it on my calendar. I don't take on 10 sessions this weekend because you don't have 10 days to work on it. So when I do your session, I have a date already set for the editing and the follow-up after it.
Mm-hmm.
I gradually, the 1 year, actually it was probably, I don't know. 1 year I finally did another business workshop and came up with like 3 packages. And you're supposed to, according to marketing,
mm-hmm.
you have a dream package, a middle package, and then your basic package.
Right.
When my entire 12 senior parents picked the dream package, I was like, oh, I screwed up. I screwed up bad on that one because I way over
extended yourself.
It wasn't, so I gave way too many products with
Gotcha.
it, but it also, there wasn't that pain point
mm-hmm.
that somebody's going to really stretch out and get it.
Yeah.
That should have probably been, the price of it should have been my middle package.
Gotcha.
Is what I meant on that. So, and they now have come back even later, and they're like, yeah, that was a lot of product. I do product.
Yeah.
I don't just give the digitals. So they can have wall galleries.
Mm-hmm.
They can have albums, announcements, custom announcements. It's just, it's the experience in itself.
Right.
What all's involved in it, not just show up, meet me. I want to know you before the session that I have a consultation so that we can get to know each other, so that it's not a dry run the first time you show up.
When you're taking photos.
Yeah, it's like, who are you? What's this?
Yeah.
There's 10 people out here. Which one are you?
Well, I think that also something you said that people need to hear is that you have to invest back into yourself.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
Like, become the best you can be.
Yes.
And no matter what stage you are in business, that you should still be educating yourself, being around other voices to perfect your craft.
Yes.
It's so important. And you have perfected your craft. I have to say, I want you to talk a little bit, because you truly don't just take photos, especially like with the seniors. Like you use the word experience. You create an experience for seniors that is pretty incredible, and I think really unique. Like, whenever you say what sets you apart from other photographers, this is definitely one of the things I would say sets you apart, is the experience that you provide for a senior. So how did you come up with that? Where did that come from?
The mom.
The mom. Being the mom? Being a mom?
The experience is for the mom.
Yes. Yes.
20 years from now, the kid will look back and see it. But the mom, I know what the mom's going through.
Yeah.
Their dynamics are about to change, whether it be the first child, the last child, the middle child, the only child. I am here the whole time for the mom.
Yeah.
When we're shooting, I don't care if it's prom pictures or whatever, mom's going to be in the pictures. If dad's there, he is.
Yeah.
He'll be in it too. But I want mom to have this moment. If there's siblings there, it's about, especially like the middle child who always just gets lumped in there. They get their own picture with mom. Every session, no matter what. And the moms always act shocked, like, oh, I wasn't ready for this. And I was like, I just turn it black and white. It's okay.
It's all good.
You're still going to be in a picture because 20 years from now, nobody's going to care.
Right. You're just going to be glad you have the photo.
Yeah. So that, and that led into the branding because a lot of the moms are entrepreneurs and have little side businesses and that. So that's my main thing is women. I'm tired of seeing you look through your phone and all you see is your family and no pictures of you. And of course, dad's not taking any pictures of you. And if he is, it's when you have no makeup and no bra. And, so that's all the pictures I had.
Yeah.
My husband, the only time he'd pick up the camera was Christmas morning in my jammies with no bra and my hair going every which direction. And I wouldn't have any pictures if it weren't for my mom. My mom's the one that took the pictures for us and then had them printed out and get just, Walmart things. I wouldn't have those. Yeah. And so I really harass guys now. Your spouse should be taking pictures. Yes. Even my own husband, he gets it because,
he's been trained
the
now.
Two oldest ones are like, why? Why are you still posting my picture on my birthday from 17 years ago?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have any new ones.
Yeah.
So he's learning.
Yeah, he's learning. He's growing. So obviously photography is a very competitive business. I feel like it has, and maybe you're in the business, so you could speak to this more than I could. I feel like it has slowed down a little bit because I feel like for a portion of time, almost not everyone I knew, but there were so many people I knew that were just kind of doing what you did in the beginning. Like what you were doing in the beginning of like just trying it and fiddling in it, which I don't, listen, great, no judgment here, but being such a competitive industry, how has that been for you at trying, not just doing the playing around, but actually forming it into a legitimate business that you're taking seriously?
Because I didn't start it as a frosting on a cupcake kind of thing. So many make the mistake of starting a side business like that because they have a husband. And he makes the main income, and so they're just getting some gravy income.
Some spending money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so even when I coach somebody on this, I'm like, you start out with your pricing like this is your only job.
Yeah.
Because if you start out cheap, you're going to get all the cheap people that are just going to leave you when you have to raise your prices. So I started out at 50 and not 25. And I would give the little CD disc, with the stuff on it. I remember giving somebody all raw images, which you probably know what raw images are, but nobody else can do anything with raw images unless you know how to use the editing software. Yeah. But I still valued my time. And then that Christmas, I didn't. That's when I said, okay, things are changing. I'm going to make a legitimate, sustainable business.
Right.
Sustainable. It was not. It's had its ebbs and flows. This past year has been slow for everyone, whether it be photography or not. I mean, all the groups are talking about this is one of their worst years. I have built mine enough that I can have one client a month and I'm okay. Yeah. I have a dream client coming in from Cincinnati.
Awesome.
In a couple of weeks. And we rented a big Airbnb by Utica Square. And her whole thing deals around the home. So we're going to shoot in this one. So that was like, and that's awesome. A decade in the making of meeting her and like using her products that she had that I just fell in love with. That's another thing. You've got to have systems. If you don't, you can't just always fly by the seat of your pants. You need to have a business day to where you only work on your business. It's not a joke whenever they talk about Marketing Monday and Tax Tuesday or whatever is to find those systems.
Yeah. So what do you feel like with all of these years watching not just your own business but other photography businesses, what do you think is the difference between those who last and those who just kind of flitter away?
Most likely because it's a mom with small children,
Mm-hmm.
and
They get too busy.
they realize, it is a lot more work than what it looks like.
Yeah.
So there's the whole gamut. It's on deciding if you want to be flaky or if you just want the ones that pop up every 6 months, like, hey, I'm having a mini session.
Right.
It's like,
and that's all.
what
So that's all they
bills
do. Yeah. So they just will do a mini session, and then you won't hear from them again until the next holiday.
And it's usually when they need extra money.
Yeah.
Because a mini session can be viable when you're doing photography.
Yeah.
You could make, I could make $2,000 to $3,000 in a day doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and then not have to work again for the rest of the month. But then again, you're losing the people that all of a sudden you pop up. Every time you pop up, you're wanting something.
Yeah. What is the hardest part of your job that people don't see?
The editing. Anymore, like with Lightroom and that stuff, you can make it easy.
Mm-hmm.
It can be done quickly, but I see too many details that I need to worry about, the way the shadow hits on you and that kind of stuff. But it's on my desktop, and I can't just carry a laptop around, so I have to sit in my boring little room, which I've made it look good, and I have good music in there, but I don't like that part.
Good music is required.
Yes.
So music, or do you put on like a show?
I can't on a show. I play oldies music, and I'm talking about Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald. Ella, yeah. Ella.
Yeah.
Yeah, that type music.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so you kind of mentioned something earlier that I want to just outright ask. Do you provide coaching for photographers? Is that something you do, or just when asked?
I can.
Yeah.
Not for the photography side of it. The reason, the business side, yes. The photography side, because everybody has their own little niche that they want to mess with. I learned the hard way that you've got to focus on the business side.
Yeah.
If you want to make this a sustainable career that you can survive without your husband's pay,
Mm-hmm.
you've got to learn the business side of it.
So, for anyone who needs that repeated, if you want to win in the photography business, you have to have solid business systems, procedures.
Amen.
All of those things.
Yes.
Okay, so I asked that because you mentioned something about that, and I'm like, that would totally fit if someone was needing some of that coaching, that you're someone they should contact. I mean, I think.
Yeah. Oh, well, of course. TraciBaker.co. Traci with an I.
Yes, that is a very important distinction. But because of that, I do feel like you have that coaching hat that you easily wear. What are some of the biggest mistakes you've seen photographers make?
Always undercharging and not getting back with people. The amount of people that contact me and say, you're the first person that's replied back to me.
Wow.
Just blows my mind.
Yeah. They're just letting people, like customers, basically
Yes.
walk in their business and leave without even.
And not paying attention to your direct messaging on social media, because that's how people are contacting you now.
It's true.
Majority of my business is through my social media.
Yeah.
I got a website just because I felt like we needed one. Went through the whole growing my business kind of thing with it, but Lordy, the DMs are where it's at. It really, truly is.
Yeah. And I think I know, like, listen, people can set their boundaries all they want. They can. They're allowed to do that. But also, if you have like an inquiry form on your website, I know I've seen people, like if someone does DM them, they're like, okay, but you need to go fill out this form.
Yeah, least friction possible.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. That is so true.
Matter of fact, like we were messaging through DM.
Yeah.
And I came back and said, girl, you got to text me.
Yes. Move to the text.
Well, because we had contacted enough through it.
Right.
And I'm like, make sure Facebook Messenger is wonky. Like people have contacted me and it didn't show up at all.
Yeah.
And then they email me and I was like, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden it pops up in my Facebook. I was like, wait a minute.
Well, and I will say to check your DMs, but also check your like requests, because if sometimes they get put in there like
Not
the
on your
message
business
request.
page though.
Yeah. Not on, if you're doing it through what are you're saying
Meta.
through Meta? Yes, if you're doing it through Meta, it won't. But like if you're just going in through Instagram,
Yeah.
always check your requests, because I feel like people might be surprised what could
Yeah,
be
well, I
sitting in
do
there.
on Instagram on that one.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. So you said what mistakes photographers make. Now we're gonna get personal. What are some of the biggest mistakes clients make when going to a photo session or a branding session or whatever it may be?
Oh my God. We don't wear all white and denim jeans.
Oh no, now we're getting personal. We're getting personal.
You really do have to learn over the years what photographs and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Tiny prints, those, and I know you've seen this, the little wave marks from pinstripes.
Mhm.
That can show up in the pictures. It's called moire or something like that. I don't even know the technical term for it.
Yeah.
Knowing your skin tone and what colors to wear. I mean, over the years, I have seen things, regret things, everything I do in my business because I screwed up somewhere and had to redo something. Yeah. That's one of the things is not consulting about attire that you're going to wear. And the other thing is wear clothes if it's a family session that match your home.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because you're more likely to put them on the wall because it goes with the aesthetics of your home. So you don't want to wear neon colors and then your home is in all the lovely farm gray and white.
That's something people wouldn't think of, but that's a really good piece of advice. So I don't think that you probably do now because you have tightened things up and you do so much education around your business. But in the beginning, and maybe for other photographers, have you ever dealt with, or what do you feel like are some of the reasons for wrong expectations that clients come into a session with?
That anything can be photoshopped.
That's good. Have you had someone be like taking a picture and be like, oh, you can just Photoshop that out?
Yeah, you'll just Photoshop. Almost every session somebody will say that. I'm like, I have my skinny lens on. It's okay. Mine, I need to explain this. What I call a proof is what a lot of photographers give as their final images. They say they're fully edited. So you will get the proofs, which in mine you will get them printed as well, unless it's a branding session because you don't want all those pictures.
Yeah.
But then when you order one for the wall, that's where the photoshopping comes in. That's where your little tubby roll muffin top, which nobody else is noticing but you.
Nobody else is noticing it.
And I tell all moms, it's like we don't stare in the mirror all day. So instantly when we see a picture of ourselves, we go straight for our flaws.
Yes.
But everybody else, that crooked tooth, everyone else sees it as normal.
Yeah.
And you're just seeing the crooked tooth that you need to get fixed, which it can be fixed. But I try, even when you have a child that has a boo-boo, I try to leave it in there because 20 years from now, when you're looking at that picture, oh my God, this is where he fell down by the fireplace and broke his elbow or whatever.
Yeah, so, it was life. That was life back then.
My motto is 20 years from now, how are you going to look at this picture?
Yeah.
Try to use heirlooms in it. If you've got grandma's jewelry, the quilt, grandpa's hat, and you can incorporate it into a session. 20 years from now, that's what you're going to remember.
Yes, yes. Okay, so switching a little bit back to the photography side of it, what do you think the future of photography industry looks like right now?
Shall we talk about AI?
Shall we? Shall we? That's what everyone's wondering about.
Are you sick of seeing the AI stuff? I think the way that I've built my business on the experience, we're moving back to that. People want to get to, you are so sick of seeing those same AI ads that somebody's done the cartoon picture of themselves. Does it have a spot? Yeah, it has a spot. But when you are making it your business, people are going to tire of it. And they want to get back to the human side. Just like what was the M dash, where people could tell that you put it in chat and had it rephrase it, and they kept putting the dash on there.
Yeah.
So it's obvious when it's yours with the M dash, so then they start changing it around. But
So you see
AI
that, you see that kind. I mean, AI is here to stay, but I agree. I have to agree. I think across the board, people are getting back to the human experience.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
And that means for photographers, what that's what they should be paying attention to right now. You think?
Oh, yes, yeah. What experience? Definitely answer your DMs.
Yes.
Answer your email. So when I started this, I still live rural, and we had a really bad internet. And for just senior pictures, for me, uploading like 100 pictures to get their proofs printed was 7 and 8 hours.
Oh, my word.
I would have to leave it running overnight.
Yeah.
And then finally, here's a plug for Lake Region Electric Co-op. They spent millions around 2020 to start coming out and bringing fiber out there. So when Windstream did a mild upgrade, and I was doing it in 4 to 5 hours. So that was another reason why it's like, that's why I'm charging more, because it's still taking me this long.
Yeah.
So it was 4 to 5 hours to upload 100 images. And my computer was constant wear and tear because it had to keep going.
Right.
Then fiber came, and I sat down and I grabbed one of my senior files, uploaded it, 12 minutes.
Oh my word, that's nuts.
I cried. I literally was crying. I was so emotional over it. It took me a good 3 weeks to get out of that habit of that system, because I would start them uploading, then I would go do laundry.
Yeah.
Or I'd go do something else.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, they're probably already uploaded. So I was able to speed up my systems with it. But
that's amazing.
Definitely appreciate technology in that part.
Yes. Okay, so what is a piece of advice for someone starting out in the photography business in 2026?
Charge your worth. You don't have to be the cheapest. There's always going to be somebody cheaper than you. There's always going to be somebody more expensive than you. There's always going to be somebody who is better than you but charges less than you. And that affects your mentality. Yeah. But charge. Your time is valuable. Yeah. Charge.
Yeah. Because the time that, again, the time that people don't see is when you are the one in front of that computer screen, editing, doing the books, doing all of the things, doing the business side of things. Those are the things people don't see.
And incorporate, if you have a website, that costs you. Yeah. If you have software, Photoshop costs you.
Yes.
Matter of fact, mine's like $80 a month now. It went up.
Oh my word.
Your scheduling, all of that cost. My email one, that Flow Desk, is like $900 a year.
That is crazy.
And you've got to factor in that. How many clients do you need to pay that off?
Yes. Yeah. These are the things that you learn with as many years of experience as you have.
Yes.
So what are you most proud of in this stage of your business?
That most of my clients are now friends.
Oh,
I love that.
Yeah.
They'll send me random stuff out of nowhere, or and you're just like, that's only because I took their pictures.
Yeah. And
that you get to go from milestones with them. Started out when they were 3 years old. Next thing you know, you're taking their senior pictures.
Yeah.
And they want that consistency of it.
Right. What keeps you motivated after all these years?
Because of my ADHD, because photography, you can change it all the time. Yeah. I shot a few weddings, and it was like, nope. I love shooting the weddings. I hated the editing part.
Yes.
And that fear of, what if I miss the kiss?
One, how many seconds do you think that is? Like 5 seconds
I don't know
that
if it's
you cannot
5 seconds.
miss.
Yeah. So I did a wedding at an Airbnb old home, Victorian type home. And I told them, I said, I don't have any skill in this whatsoever. And they're like, no, we really want you. I was like, okay. So I'm like, got my on-camera flash. They're doing it out in the backyard. It's a mom with a daughter, and so it's going to be the stepdad. There's this moment where he's going to give her a little promise ring to be the dad that she needs. My battery died.
No.
Yeah. And I had to go up to the second floor from the backyard, run up there, I had no idea that those flashes, because I didn't have a rechargeable one.
Yeah.
I had like 6 AA batteries in there.
So you're popping batteries.
Oh, yeah. Totally missed the whole thing. Missed the whole thing. Came back. I was like, I didn't even know what to say to you. I'm so sorry. They were fine, which the marriage didn't last later, but.
Oh man, that's another podcast.
And that was the other thing is, the majority. Nothing kills you more than all the work that you put into a session and they get a divorce and one guy said to me, "Oh, that was the first thing I did was burn those pictures." I can't.
Well, that needs to be a podcast. So if whoever wants to start this, the Chronicles of the Wedding Photographer, to just talk about the horrors of all of those things.
Yes.
And, and beyond. I'm sure there's a gazillion wedding stories from wedding photographers. So if someone needs a podcast idea, there you go.
Yeah. No, I no weddings for me. I did maybe 3 or 4.
And that was enough.
Yeah. And the seniors, I think the reason why I lean toward the seniors, because you can get them to do almost anything.
They're like, all right, I'll try it.
I make the parents, they're with me. So if I'm like, climb up on that narrow wall right there with that traffic right beside you. Mom, is that okay?
Is that all right?
I do have insurance. And if you're a photographer, you by golly better have insurance.
See, another thing we didn't even talk about.
Yeah.
Get your insurance.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Man. Okay, so before we close, I always ask this question. What is one thing you don't have fully figured out yet, but you're choosing to build through anyway? Something you don't have figured out.
I have none of it figured out. I really don't. I really don't. I have the attitude of I'll figure it out as I go, which is what yours is.
Yeah.
Do it scared.
Yeah. Well, that's what you said about that first conference you went to. You were scared. You just showed up by yourself.
Just do it scared.
Yeah.
And that's like what this whole year of me doing. Like, I'm doing this. Like, I'm driving up here going, I don't even know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So this is your first podcast, right?
Very first podcast.
And maybe you did it, hopefully not too scared.
I didn't. No. And we've had all kinds of technical issues, so it works out fine.
It's all good.
It's the epitome of doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just winging it. We're all just I think honestly that attitude brings better success when you're willing to just figure it out.
So my year of woo-woo, the way Kathy Hellers, who I listen to, the way that she phrases it when something happens like this, it's like, I'm going to see where this adventure takes me.
Yeah.
Instead of being upset about it, it's like, oh my God, dwelling on that. It's like, let's see where this adventure is going.
That's good.
And that's how, like, when I got on the Lowdown Extra, because as I'm driving over to my parents' house to help with the hacker on their computer, I'm like, I'm going to see where this adventure takes me. And look where it took me.
So that's another plug. I don't know when that's going to come out. The Lowdown, is it The Lowdown or Lowdown?
It's The Lowdown.
The Lowdown.
And it's on Hulu and FX.
Is it, but it's not out yet?
Season 1's already out.
Okay.
And it's filmed around Tulsa, and it's based on a guy in Tulsa.
Okay.
It's not one for little kids to watch, but you'll see, drive down, what is that, 3rd Street? 6th Street, where Holy Moly used to be, and the Bramble. Go down that, and you'll see the whole set up there where the Sweet Emily's, that's all fake. Okay. But you can look in the windows, and it looks like it's so cool. So
you'll potentially, you'll be an extra in season 2?
Yes, I got to be a journalist.
Ooh.
In that one, which I will never look at film the same way. It just blows my mind. For a 20-second shot took us 3.5 hours. I did not start my part until like 10 o'clock at night, and I had to be there at 4 o'clock.
Well, I mean, I guess it's an opportunity to see the different side, being behind the camera in a different way.
Yes.
So cool. So be looking for Traci in season 2.
Season 2. When we're filming at the Cain's Ballroom, where I'm outside at the Cain's Ballroom. I'm a journalist in that.
All right, so keep an eye out. Yeah. Well, okay, Traci, also tell us before we leave, where can they find you online? Where should they follow you, find you, all the things?
Traci Baker Photographer on Instagram and Facebook. And I'm pretty sure it's still photographer. Mm-hmm. And tracibaker.co on is my website.
On your website. All right, so look her up, find her. That is it for this session of the Back Office. If this conversation gave you clarity, a new angle, or even just the reminder that you're not the only one navigating this, then it did its job. So if you did find this conversation, which I'm sure you did, valuable, share it with another operator who's building, especially other photographers. They need to hear this episode. And you can always hang out with us in between episodes on social media at Signify Marketing Social. I'm Dalayna Dillon, and we will meet you back here next time.
Money.